Yo, it's Jimmy on for Glitchy Thumbs, and today we're going to look at 3 ways to think about trends when thinking about your next game idea. And also, I'm talk about a little bit of what my plan is with Buildbox at the end of the video. So, stay till then. Let's go. So, if you haven't watched my last video that I posted a month ago, it was called A Closer Look at the Joystick Mechanic in Buildbox 3 role-playing example, and I'll put the link in the description for you to check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Basically, I was talking about the joystick mechanic and ragdoll ideas, and I could pull that clip up. Glitchy Thumbs, welcome. So the humanoid dummy characters work really well right now. A lot of games are using it, and if you have an idea about with those ragdoll type characters, it could work out. And the joystick mechanic seems pretty promising, but every mechanic or prototype, you just never know what's gonna work. So let's take a look at Push 'Em All by OHM. So yeah, this is basically the joystick mechanic with this little humanoid dummy character, and all you're doing is cleaning those red characters off the screen. So yeah, this is definitely a good idea, at least for a prototype. Basically you can build or create a character, try to use the joystick mechanic and try different ideas. It seems pretty simple. So then another mechanic. Yeah, so at the time I really liked the joystick mechanic and also like the ragdoll characters, and a month now, or a month has passed, and if you check the App Store right now, what's at the top is, let's see what's at the top. The number 2 game in top free games at the top charts is Push 'Em All. Obviously it's an updated version, and it looks way better than it did in the prototype video, and that was something that I really liked, and the game was, it was a really good idea. And there's also like other good ideas as well, and I think that's my reason for making this video, is because look, we should talk about trends, and I think that's important when you're coming up with new ideas. Alright, so let's grab a notepad and let's write down the 3 ways that you can think of trends. So the first way is to stick with the current trend. So let's just say you're building your prototype, right? Building your prototype. So if you're able to catch the trend, things move really quickly and hyper casual. So if you're able to catch it, that's great. But if you're not able to catch it, that's okay too, because trends repeat themselves and everything comes in cycles. If it's happening now and you missed it, it's okay. You'll have a game ready for the next trend or whenever it happens again. So what I think about is like, okay, just finish your game, test it. If it doesn't work because you missed the trend, that's okay. Test it again later when the trend happens again. So basically, the second way is to go against the trend. Go against the trend. Figure out what's missing. Like, what mechanic do you see that's not at the top during at the time, and do your research and make an educated guess on that. So what you can do is go to App Annie, and I'm gonna bring up App Annie here. Yeah, you can go to appannie.com and then click top charts, and it'll bring you the charts. And what I'm looking at is around the time that I was talking about, the joystick mechanic with the, ragdoll type theme to it, which is around October 1st. And from this list, I broke it down in attributes. Let me bring it up. So this is the list, and I broke it down attributes, and I categorized them. And at the time, you can see that, puzzle and runners were doing really well. And I usually look at the bottom of the list, and there was like just one other game that was using the push mechanic at the time. And I was just taking a look, and when I discovered push them all, just searching up keywords around push, I saw that was a really good idea to maybe execute on. But that was my thought process behind it. And I mean, there's a whole bunch of other ideas too, but at the time, I really liked that idea, and I was super excited to work on it. Yeah, so you just kind of have to look, at the top charts, and if we go back to the date to today, you can see the list has already changed, and you just kind of have to break this down and see what's trending now and figure out what's not on the list. And that's a good method to do as well. And the third way is to create your own trend by being innovative. So you kind of have to be creative at this point. Try to think of something that no one's, thought of just yet. And that could come from anything. It doesn't have to be by looking at the App Store. It can come from, your own world. Like, what are people doing at your school? What movies you're watching? Anything you can pull from those. Other consoles. Games from other consoles. Like, what mechanics can you pull from those type of games? It can pretty much come from anywhere. Yeah, so just come up with something new, and that's basically what's doing really well, because you're creating your own trend. And when you do that, there's no clones or copycats of your game just yet until it happens. And that's the reason why there's a lot of games being successful, because they're unique, they're very different. And then your competition hops in and they try to make similar mechanics, but that's just how the game market is like. So it's a good thing to always have people thinking about different ways to build a game and just merging different concepts to form an entirely new idea. So that's the real, I think, way of getting experience building hybrid casual, is just by studying the charts, doing research, and doing a little bit of everything. If it's easier for you to build a game that's already existed, build the game to learn, then don't expect it to be a top game that's published, because it's existed already, so the likelihood of it being published isn't high. But the chances of something that's never seen before is super high of getting published. It's because no one else has tapped into that mechanic yet. But the it's more riskier because you don't really know if that idea works. So you're basically testing it out yourself. But I mean, if you're able to do research and find something that works, then it's usually a good thing. And if it doesn't work now, like I said, you can always test it again later when people forget. So that's something to think about in terms of trends. You know, at the top you can see this, it's an entirely new list, so you can do the breakdown again and you'll be able to discover some new, you know, nuances, and, you know, figure out what new ideas you can come up with. So that's my idea of how kind of like the trends works and how you can kind of like think about trends. With that said, you know, I was planning on working on, you know, the ragdoll theme with the joystick, but I think I just took way too long to execute on that idea. Not really too excited to work on it anymore, but probably gonna put that on the back burner and just focus on, you know, just building mechanics in Buildbox, which is what I'm gonna use, so I can kind of get back into the game and just start building a bunch of stuff, whether or not it gets published, but more so because I'm, you know, trying to relearn everything again, and I think that's a good way to learn Buildbox, is just to get in there and just build stuff and not think about trying to get it published. But I'm still gonna do the research. If I come across a game that, you know, is a really good idea, then I'll still go down that route. But right now it's more so about, let's see, you know, getting familiar with the program again, building some things, and then letting myself get into that zone, which is it's always good to get your creative thought process going, and that way I'll have the skill set to, you know, build what I need to build to get published at some point. So that's what I plan to do, and thanks for watching. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Peace.